Hello and welcome back to WTF is SRE. You may have noticed I am not Jamie. I am Nathan Harvey. I will be hosting the remainder of track one for this wonderful conference. I hope you've had a great start to the conference, and I'm really excited to continue moving us forward. You won't believe how excited I am as I introduce our next presenter. So before I reveal who the presenter is, although I'm sure you already know, let's talk about that title. DevSecOps is a practice and you should be the hero. All right, speaking of heroes, please welcome to WTF is SRE, Chris Riley. Chris, take it away.
Thank you, Nathan. Yes, so one of the things I'm going to talk about today, because we've all heard this term DevSecOps, is how does this relate to the SRE function and how can the SRE be intimately involved in accelerating the DevSecOps practice? Now, before I start, just a few days ago, this arrived on my doorstep. And I took the hint. The Container Solutions crew did such an amazing job promoting this event, which is extremely hard in the world of virtual events today. So I thought it was my duty to step it up and deliver on the tools that they shipped to me. So I have 15 minutes to chat with you today. I have a total of 20 slides and I have 4 hot sauces. So the only possible thing that I can do is take these hot sauces while I'm talking to you, with one finale with a full seeded jalapeno. So that's how we're gonna do that. That's how this is gonna roll. And the 4 hot sauces, mango habanero, I knew that was gonna cause a problem. Orange hot sauce, garlic habanero, a lot of habanero, and the last one I know is going to be my favorite is chipotle. So we have 7 flames throughout my talk, and each one I'm going to be eating hot sauce. So we're going to start with the mango habanero, which, by the way, I don't like mango. I know that's weird. All right, so as Nathan said, my name is Chris Riley. I am a senior technology advocate at Splunk. That basically means my career as a software developer and an IT operations person was not so great, but I couldn't give it up. I couldn't stop talking about software. If you want to find out more about me, besides the fact that you'll find out soon, I'm probably not going to be able to handle the hot sauces very well, scan that QR code, get you all my information, including some of my podcasts. One of them is with Miss Ashton, who does the doodles and the graphic recording. So why are we here today? We are talking about DevSecOps, and I want to kind of put you in a specific mindset. Oop, hot sauce. Orange one, not great. Put you in a specific mindset. So imagine that you just got a chance to step in and drive a Formula One car. They put you in the seat. They said, it's yours to go. When you ask them for a helmet, they say, no helmet. You don't get a helmet on this ride. Ask for a seatbelt. They say, no seatbelt, no suit. And you look in front of you and all you see is a bumpy country dirt road. Are you going to feel very comfortable driving that amazing piece of machinery that can go very, very fast in that type of scenario? The answer is no. Well, DevSecOps is the same thing. Your software delivery chain, and a big part of your job is to protect application velocity. But without the proper tools to do that successfully, everything comes to a grinding halt. So while thinking about security and compliance sucks, it's much worse to slow down your delivery chain. But like I said, SREs, DevOps engineers, a big part of your job is to protect the delivery process, to make sure that application velocity is not just set up, is efficient and sustainable, long-lasting. You don't just start going fast for a few months and then suddenly everything stops. Think about in the last 3 years, how many times you've had a sprint or a deployment get skipped. This is the kind of stuff that all of us want to prevent. And if you build security into your software delivery chain practices and your incident response, then you can prevent that from stopping everything. All right. This is the garlic habanero. These little spoons are tricky. So far, I'm doing pretty good. So, oh, wow. That was a little painful. All right. So DevSecOps is a practice. It's not a tool that you buy and you just implement. It's a practice that must be visible. And you have to invest in it being visible. And what does visible mean? Visible means there's a thread that goes all the way from your analytics in your delivery chain through your entire tech stack, all the way up to your SIM. Now, the SIM is usually where we think about security happening. But your software delivery chain itself, in every layer of your application, is a part of your attack surface. Yeah, that one hurt a little bit. All right, chipotle pepper. So it is the job of making DevSecOps visible by connecting all of these layers, such that everybody in the organization is having a meaningful conversation about what is going on, so that your security professionals have confidence in the fact that the development team is doing what they need to do to secure application, and that when something does happen in production, you have enough context to address it. And really, because it is a practice and not a product, it breaks down into 3 key areas. First is building more secure applications. So this is how you make sure your code quality, you're doing code quality scans, you're doing the appropriate testing, and you're scanning for vulnerabilities. Securing the software factory, this is the one that's been in the news the most. How do you make sure that people don't get access to your secrets or your code, or inject artifacts that have vulnerabilities in them or malicious code? And then finally, securing applications in production. This is the thing that we're largely used to doing and have nailed down pretty well, except the delivery chain can better inform what happens in production with security incidents. The characteristics I'm sure you're already familiar with, which is first, you want to integrate security across the entire delivery chain, starting at code, and build in the automation. Yes, this does largely assume that there is a lot of automation in place to successfully implement this. Man, this was not a good idea, by the way. This is definitely, it's okay. I'm glad it's only a 15-minute talk. Second is shifting security left. This is not just a technology thing. This is also a cultural thing. So making sure that your developers care and understand security and the importance of thinking about security. It's not their responsibility, but thinking about it in their development process. And of course, doing it all at the speed of DevOps, ensuring that you are not impacting application velocity when you create this visibility and start to implement some of the DevSecOps components. All right, I'm back on the habanero, the one that burned before. So we're gonna do it again. You may have noticed I color-coded my spoons. All right, so let's talk about how this aligns with personas, because what we're here to discuss is what's the impact of the SRE in DevSecOps. Because we have these 3 separate use cases, there's different personas for each use case. Everybody is a consumer of the data and the visibility in the practice, and everybody benefits from it, because if there's an incident, that's really bad for the organization. When it comes to building more secure applications, those most involved are developers and quality engineers. When it comes to securing the application factory, those most involved are DevOps engineers, the SRE, and the security team. I'm going to explain the SRE bit a lot more, because that's what I'm really excited about. Inside of Splunk is actually our DevOps team that is currently driving the DevSecOps initiative. And then for securing applications in production, this is what a lot of organizations have already done. They're very used to securing applications in production, but their visibility is limited. It starts at production. Wouldn't it be great if that visibility started before? So this impacts your security professionals and the SRE. In terms of technical capabilities, it breaks down to this. The foundation of the first two use cases, and really across the entire DevSecOps practice, is pipeline analytics. This is collecting telemetry from your delivery chain and using that to operate and understand how your tools are being used and making sure that they're being used in a secure way. Securing applications in production are what we already know today. It's the technologies around observability, SIEM, and incident response. But again, by incorporating all the data from the point a feature is defined to the point that that feature is running in production, which we call code to cloud visibility, helps you increase the context to help triage and deal with incidents as they happen. All right, Chipotle pepper. This one was good. So all of this comes down to meaning something very simple and something that you are all very familiar about. DevSecOps is a practice. That practice has to be visible, which means it's visible so that you can operate it, make sure it's up and running, monitor it, observe it, see what's going on, have analytics, and respond to incidents when they happen. This should sound very familiar to you because if you are in the practice of SRE, you are doing all of these things. And that is why I think it's so interesting to look at where the SRE fits in the DevOps practice. In the last 2 years, I've only run into 2 organizations, and I've talked more to them more than two, I promise. 2 organizations that have a DevSecOps function, but that DevSecOps function works intimately with the engineering team. Same as SREs. All right, before I go on, this is a seeded jalapeno. Taking a bite, this one's really gonna hurt. We have 3 minutes. So why do I think the SRE can help the DevSecOps practice? Well, you're already an expert in most of the functions that I said for DevSecOps. Incident response, operating, monitoring, visibility. You already know how to do that. You have a holistic point of view, which means that you understand that there's a whole delivery chain building up to releasing these applications. You have a resilience mindset. So you're constantly thinking about what it takes to make applications successful. You invest in stewardship. You know that part of your job is supporting culture and supporting developers in doing the right thing. And you are the best at mobilization. You know how to get to the right person at the right place at the right time. And much faster, in my opinion, much faster than most security professionals with incident response processes. If you are in pain right now, I hope you're in pain, and you better be tweeting about this. I'm doing this for you. So here is food for thought, pepper for thought. I truly believe today, prior to the world where DevSecOps is actually a function, that the SRE has a lot to offer in accelerating and building DevSecOps and security practices into the delivery chain via implementing pipeline analytics, which is integrated into the data in your observability. I want you to think about that. Is that possible in your organization? Is continuous verification possible because you have this data from your delivery chain? Can you do things like deployment markers and create incident response and on-call for your secrets management tools and your artifact scanning and your vulnerability scanning, such that those capabilities shift all the way into production and you do a better job at identifying incidents or vulnerabilities even before the bad guys do. That's what continuous verification is. I believe all of these are true. I encourage you to see if this is possible in your organization, because security is top of everybody's mind. As you know, you've seen in the news, and it's something that everybody needs to think about, and SREs can be the hero. Thank you for bearing with me. That was fun. I won't do it again though. So I'm done for now. Please reach out if you have any questions and you want to chat further about this, or you're even interested in being a guest in one of my podcasts, because I would love to have you, and I love hearing from people who join my sessions. Nathan, save me.
Nathan, you're on mute. We've had this problem a few times.
I'm back. Hey, Chris, thank you so much. I was inspired. So, Carrie, I'm going to do something crazy, but I'm going to need you to talk for a minute while we give Chris a second to breathe. I have a little glass here, and I have all 4 of the hot sauce.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
I think I inspired by you, Chris. I'm going to try them all. Did
you have the garlic one? Because that one is not good.
Man, I think when you mix them all together, they're going to be even, more potent. Let's see. Oh, it smells delicious.
Oh, I appreciate that, Nathan.
That's for you, Chris. Hey, thank you so much for a great talk. We are running very low on time, so we might not have time for questions, but people can reach out to you. I see you've posted your Twitter right there, so they can get you there. And that's great. Chris, thank you so much for a wonderful talk.
Thank you. This was a great event. And I have to say that the promotion for this event is in top 5 for the last 2 years. So fantastic job, everybody. And thanks for attending my session.